Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. One more thing I wanted to add before we get started here is that I will pick up on the energies of the cards based on the surrounding cards. And the meanings will come through differently every time based on the other cards that are there in the reading. And I get asked this a lot, like how come the meaning of the card is changing? Because the surrounding cards are changing. And I will periodically explain to you why I say what I say, because of the energies of the cards that are there in the reading at that point in time. And I also give you references to the energies that I picked up on the prior cards, and that will affect the meaning of the cards that come after that. So I just wanted to put it out there so that you're mindful of which cards are paired up in the reading. Now, let's get to it. So the first card you have, Pisces, is card number 30. And it says love. Below that, it says tomato. There is also a glyph for Earth. There is a glyph for Libra. There is a love potion bottle right at the side of these juicy tomatoes. Yeah, and this deck has stars and stars all over it. So it just conveys a bright energy. And then there is a love potion. I hope it is not made of tomatoes. But anyways, look at the tomatoes, you know. They're so juicy and so bright. Let me read what's written here. Below this card, it says, this is a reminder that your heart is a fertile garden. You are being called to tend to it with kindness, to share its abundant harvest freely, and to revel in the simple, profound joy of connection. Do not be afraid to be soft in a hard world. Your compassion is not a weakness. It is the most nourishing force there is. Plant seeds of love everywhere you go. Water them with your attention and watch as your life and the lives of those around you blossom into a beautiful, interconnected ecosystem of support and joy. Absolutely, Pisces, you are the unconditional lovers of the zodiac. You know, you're so soft, so kind, compassionate, all that. I have not met a single Pisces that's not kind, warm, welcoming, loving. You know, you always tend to bend over backwards for people. You have a large heart. I think this energy is just another boost to, you know, your heart chakra, I feel. If there is any blockages because of past negativity, then just clear those away. I feel this is encouraging you to clear those blockages so that you can live more freely, you can enjoy more freely, you can love more freely. It further says the world needs your unique, boundless and nurturing heart now more than ever. And I completely agree, you know. You're the mutable water sign. What more can you ask for? You know, your hearts are so gentle. You're overgiving at all times. You always welcome people with a large heart, you know, doing a lot of things. You go over and beyond. I just feel you need a little bit of this love potion. You might have been taken back by some not so positive experiences. And that's understandable. You know, it kind of puts a dent on our heart space because, you know, of the negative behavior, and we are wondering, you know, what did I do wrong? I do so much, and why do I get this in return? But, you know, I would say that people don't intentionally do that. Some of them, they do. You know, it's the world. We have both, you know, we have good, bad, and everything in between. So it's not all bright. It's not all sunny. Even the sun goes down. So it's a cycle, you know, people come into our lives. They teach us something about ourselves. They tell us something about themselves as well. But I feel at this point in time, you are asked to embrace more compassion, you know. Even if people are coming to you with negativity, just know that it's their problem. It's some things, you know, not right, not sitting well with them. It's okay. It's nothing about you, right? Once we put that filter on, then we get less distracted by these negative experiences. So, just keep yourself protected, not by erecting walls, but just by knowing that human nature, you know, we have negative experiences. Sometimes we take it out on other people. It doesn't come outrightly. And if you're experiencing such behavior, just know that those people are also dealing with something in their lives which you don't know about, obviously. So when you come with an open heart, when you live with an open heart, you're able to understand other people's take on things. And you always do that. You're very intuitive, you're very telepathic, you understand what's going on, you pick up on energies like, I know him. So it's nothing new to you, picking up on energies and the moods of people, reading between lines. It's not new to you, Pisces, but it's just that when when you open up yourself more, you release those blockages, especially the heart chakra. I feel this relates to you because it's really coming strong in love. Stay grounded, ground and I also feel that you need to express it a little bit more, express your love. You might not be expressing it. You might be feeling the love for people, but just give away those hugs, those compliments, and say the things that people want to hear from you. It's just a way of them feeling your love. So show it a little bit more. I'm sure you already are grateful for the loving people in your lives, but then I feel this tomato energy is asking you to show it to them. Now, these tomatoes look like kidneys to me, so I have to say it. If you're, if your kidneys, if there is something going on, take care of it. I'm not saying there is something going on. I'm just feeling it that way. The bladder, the liver, the kidneys. If something's going on in that area, make sure you're taking care of the heart as well. Now, there's a guy for Libra, which means balance your energies out. You might be doing too much in a certain area, and like I said, Pisces bend over backwards always. So just be mindful. Don't extend yourself too much because you need time for yourself too. Nothing wrong with the word giving. Sometimes there is something wrong because we don't get it back in return, which is okay. Sometimes, I guess it's happened to me too. When we love, that's what unconditional love is, when we don't want anything back in return. And Pisceans, you are the masters of that. You give love freely. I know you have an open heart, but sometimes, the world kind of brings us down. But here, hey, this energy is asking you to just, let it go and let it flow. So you have a limitless capacity. Your heart is, way bigger. It's like, the 12th house energy is like the combination of hearts of all the other signs of the zodiac. This is how I feel, that kind of a large heart you have. And you guys, you love to connect with people. You love to leave a positive mood when you're the life of the party. You leave a positive mood wherever you go, wherever you are. I read a quote once. It says, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And that's just a Piscean energy, that resonates with you so much. So I just feel that, express yourself a little bit more. And I also feel that some of you might be into gardening, community gardens, if not your own personal garden. You might be growing, because tomatoes grow in pots. So I've tried it and, it gave me a good yield. It's just that, we just get a few and that's enough. But, some of you might be into tomato growing in your backyard. It's the most easiest fruit or vegetable to grow. But some of you might be actually using a lot of tomatoes in your food, or you need to drink a lot of tomato juice, or you need to put tomatoes into your food. Now, this energy is also about taking care of itself. How would a plant give you fruits if it's not well taken care of? So it's the same energy for you. If you are over giving, and not taking care of yourself, how are you going to pour into other people when you're not pouring into yourself? So I do feel that take the breaks, take the rest, release blockages, do some meditation, yoga, something that will help you to refresh and release negativity. There's so many ways. You can journal, you can do whatever, walk outside, connect with nature, sit by the water. And these are such healing modalities and they come free of cost. It doesn't take anything to go out and have a walk in nature. So I do feel that that could help you as well. And also, have some rituals. I've heard of countries, they have, the people over there, they have like, what is it called? Summer supper, no, Sunday suppers. It's called Sunday suppers, where families just come together. They cook elaborate meals of several courses, several course meals, and they sit together. It's a ritual, and if it's not there in your country as yet, this kind of ritual where family comes together, cooks in the kitchen and has a good time, then You guys are the best to get that ritual started off in your country, Pisces. This is the best way to express love, to get to talk to people, to know their choices, to bond better. I feel, this is the best way we can nurture ourselves and people around us. So now, I also feel with this energy, you might be having extra produce that you're sharing. Or this is some kind of a community kitchen where you're cooking for a lot of people just to give it away. I've heard of a lot of community kitchen, there's something called as a world central kitchen for those of you who don't know, where, people prepare, the chefs prepare the meals over there and they give it away in war zones and disaster zones. Yeah, the people that need nourishment and love and care and compassion at the time, they give it away to that. So you might be into something like that in your community as well. Or you can start something like this. Nevertheless, Piscean energy, tomatoes, you could be cooking up some new recipes with tomatoes, who knows? But this is also tomato juice is also something which is very nourishing to the body. It's good for the blood. It's good for a lot of other things. So go look it up. I'm also picking up a love portion, in the sense that loving towards everyone, strangers, pets, animals, what do you call the plants, even the plants. I'm picking up an energy of a Piscean that's watering the plants and talking to them. And plants actually feel love. So some of you could be doing that, or maybe you can start doing that, That's also another way to spread love. The one song that comes to mind with this energy Pisces for you is Lean on Me. If for those of you who haven't heard it, it's sung by Bill Withers. I just love that song. And, I just tell you the lyrics really quick for those of you who have not heard. It says, lean on me when you're not strong and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Why? Because for it wouldn't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So it's a mutual supportive energy. That's the song that I'm picking up with this energy. So sit together, watch movies, and if one movie that you want the recommendation to watch, which is associated with this movie, with this energy, that'll help boost your and clear away your heart chakras, is the movie called Judy and Julia. It's a great movie to sit together with Fabi and watch. The main character over there is Julie Powell. And I totally love this movie. It just connects people, connects humanity across all generations. It's great. There are food lovers in the movie. There is people love food, people love people, and everything good. So holidays are coming. If you want something to strongly connect with this energy, you can watch Julie and Julia. I promise you, you will love it. Or listen to the song Lean on Me. You will love it. It just amps your mood up. Now, I'm also picking up an energy of, some of you might be helping out people in general, not for money, but just in general, there is a new concept. It's called vegetable valet for those of you who, it's a concept. It's created, it's just a concept. It's a new concept. And I was reading about it, where people are offering these services to the elderly farmers. The next card you have, Pisces, is the 8th house energy. It doesn't have a number over here in this deck. But 8th house energy is the original house of the Scorpionic energy, ruled by Mars, and it's a fixed water sign. And Pisces, you are a mutable water sign. So a lot of water energy for you. And 8th house energy, which is Scorpionic energy, is more about the depth. DEPTH. Sometimes you get confused with the not pronunciations, but DEPTH, that depth. Diving into the deeper side of things, whether it's your emotions. And for the most part, I feel it is your emotions here. But I'll get to it. It could be a lot other things as well. So over here it says you are being called to dive into your own depths, not to drown, but to retrieve the hidden treasures buried there. Trust your incredible intuition to guide you through the dark. Have the courage to release what must die so that you can be reborn with more power, authenticity, and light than you ever thought possible. This is not a punishment. It is a profound initiation into your own power. Embrace the transformation. So I believe Pisces, like we already saw, that eighth house energy is about, rising from the ashes. That's what the energy is about. Phoenix rising from the ashes. For those of you who know mythology, this is the house of deep transformations. Just being reborn as a new version of yourself. Now, what do you mean by new version? It could be anything. It could be external new version, or it could be an internal new version. By external new version, I mean, if you have seen snakes shed their skins, which is very synonymous with this energy, you should see it. They have a milky layer on top, and when they come out of it, it's not easy. They rub it against something hard that can hold that skin back. And it's a little gross kind of a visual, because I've seen it several times for several different kind of snakes. They all pretty much do the same thing, and the skin comes out, and then they come out on the other side so much shiny and new looking. It's a little gross kind of look, but they come out shinier on the other side. So some of you could be doing that as well. You might be applying some kind of masks, like, the beauty masks for the women out there. Doesn't have to be. There are beauty masks for men as well. So you could be into beautifying yourselves. Or, transformation can be in any way. The way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you when you cut your hair in a certain way, you color your hair, whatever, maybe it's a cosmetic change. Or maybe it's your style change, the kind of clothes you wear, how you carry yourself and things like that. But on the inside, it gets deeper. And it's varied, right? And it's the same with the external. But on the internal side, it's way more different. Why? Because internally, we can change in 1,000 different ways, right? We can change the way we think. Nobody will be able to tell just by looking at us. And you could be changing the way you think. You could be changing the way you do things. You could be decluttering your house. You could be clearing up your closet. This is a rebirth energy. So anything that comes with an emotional baggage here has to go. Pisces, that's the energy. Anything that is wearing you down, anything that is making you emotional has to go, so that you can bring in newer things, into your house. You can uplift yourself by removing the old. Eighth house also energy is about, shared finances. If you're married or you have shared finances with your family, with your spouse, with your children, it could be anybody that you have joint finances with. Maybe you're doing things differently now. Maybe you are realigning your finances. This could also be reconciling, reconciling in the sense that your finances, maybe you spread it out across 1,000 areas. Now you want to reconcile it and make it into one place so that you can watch it grow. You can keep a tab easily on it and things like that. Let's go on to be something to do with, it's partnership energy. It's like, it is shared resources with your partners, but there is also inheritances, like the things that you inherit from your family. It could be land, it could be buildings, it could be jewelry, it could be artifacts, anything. And everything carries an energy of the family and family history. So, I have known people when they inherit things from their ancestors, from their family members, the granddads, grandmoms, and things like that. And even beyond that, they kind of have a ritual to cleanse it off so that, it washes away the energy. Some rituals will also, there are some rituals that you can kind of cleanse the family, especially if that object or that thing is associated with negative emotions or negative energy. You can have a ritual, perform a ritual to cleanse the energy from that object and then use it, if you want to save that. So you can do something like that. And I believe some of you might be into that as well. But more so ever, this is more about transformation. Transformation occurs when we realize something, right? That's when we pull the courage to change it. So when we realize it, right, we understand, where is the problem? That's when we get to transforming it. Now, this can be in your relationships. Maybe there is something that needs to be healed. Maybe you need to talk something with your partner. Maybe it's your close, it could be with your near and near ones. It could be with your extended family, or or even your friends, that were so close. Maybe you need to speak something. You need to talk it out. Maybe there's something that's bothering you, something that happened, or something that needs to be spoken about, something that maybe was hidden from the both of you, or you heard it from each other. Maybe that's coming to surface. This energy could come up in so many different ways. So the basic idea is to get to the bottom of things, to do the plumbing so that, things that are plumbed can be cleared away. Release the baggage. It's a good time to release the emotional baggage and lighten your karmas. And when you do that, your soul transforms, your soul feels lighter. For those of you who still recall or who still get dreams or visions, of some painful moments in the past, I do feel that there is a lot of therapy available today. There's a lot of therapy, different kinds of therapies that will bring things to the surface. A few of them I know is the past life regression. There is also the somatic that I've heard of, SOMATIC. So you can research up upon that if you're interested. There's also, modalities that address their past life traumas. Like I think it was called EMDR, if I'm not mistaken. Go look it up. A very interesting, thought-provoking therapies that are available today so that people can be relieved of those baggages, of those visions or images if they are disturbing or bothering you in any way. So I do feel that some of you might be helping people recover, or you might be doing it for your own self. Now, I'm also picking up a cleansing. Like some of you might be into environmental cleansing as well. Sorry about that noise. So I'm also picking up energy of some of you working for the environment, like environmental cleanup and things like that. Something that leads to ecosystem balance and well-being. So some of you could be into that as well. Or you could be working more in nature. Maybe you're creating some meditation camps or some kind of meditation camps is what I'm picking up on. Now, for those of you who have heard the news or who know about it, a lot of countries are also decolonizing museums. By that, what I mean is they are sending away the cultural artifacts to the original countries. So why? Because, colonialism in the past, it was not a very well-received legacy, right? By the modern day enthusiasts. They want to heal that part of the country. So there is country healing going on as well. So I feel this 8,000 energy truly aligns with that. Now, some of you might be into plants as well, because I'm getting a decay kind of an energy where the organic matter, the fertilizers and compost and all of that, it decays, right? That's how the compost is created. So when it composts, what it results is a very rich soil. It's a very fertile soil, and that's what is necessary. It's actually necessary to give. The next card you have, Pisces, is the 10 of Staves. Now, 10 of Staves in itself is, the highest of the minor arcana in the fire suit. And Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius are the fire elements. And if you look at the picture, it's a little different than the Rider-Waite, right? The Rider-Waite is like the person has so many wands and, he's not able to see the front because the wands are actually blocking his view. And actually with that energy, I'm also picking up that some of you might be loading up your... Okay. Sorry about that noise, guys. So what I was saying is like, I'm getting an image where you have overloaded your trucks or your cars and you're not able to see the traffic in the back. So don't do that. If those of you that are carrying things from one place to the other, it's energy also that I'm picking up on. So now if you see in this picture, the 10 of Staves is completely different. It's not the, you'd imagine that since the Ace of Wands is like the fire lit up, so 10 must be the highest a fire lit up. But in this case, it's a little opposite. It's the It's the last leg where you're so exhausted by pursuing the opportunity that the Ace of Wands brought to you. You are excited about something. You took on a job, a project, maybe it's a home renovation or something that kickstarted for you. It's at the almost tail end of the hard work that you have put into getting the Ace of Wands to the Ten of Wands. You're tired. And this person over here, she's carrying those logs. There are 10 logs in that bundle, and she's carrying a little baby behind. She has a kid in front, and she's still climbing it. It doesn't even look like a flat surface. It looks like a mountain that she's sort of climbing, right? It's an uphill. And she's climbing with all of that. Can you imagine? It's like, oh yeah, the ultimate test of endurance, right? The ultimate test of strength. So I understand you might be extremely tired right now, Pisces. So let's read what's written below. It says, yeah, this is a testament to your incredible strength. You are not being punished. You are being proven. So you have proved that you can handle things, Pisces. Further, it says the universe is showing you the immense power of your own endurance. This burden has a purpose and its end is in sight. Take one more step, then another. Do not be afraid to ask a fellow traveler to help you carry a stave or two. Yeah, ask for help, Pisces. I mean, most of us, we feel that we're incompetent if we have to get help or ask people for support. That's not it. It's just that, what's wrong with asking for help? Especially if you're doing it for somebody, this could be a project that you undertook for yourself, or it could be a family project, or it could be a passion project. Whatever it is, what's wrong with asking help? I just don't get it. So, no, further it says you are not meant to do this completely alone. Exactly, the universe wants you to get the help. Remember, the mightiest trees have weathered the strongest winds. You're almost home. Lay down this burden, catch your breath, and prepare for the new lighter chapter that awaits you just ahead. So the burdens are gone. You'll feel much lighter now, Pisces. So toast to that. Just relax yourself. Just relax. Watch a movie. And if you don't know which movie to watch, I can help you with that. You can watch The Lord of the Rings, which is like the Return of the King. That's the movie that will, pump you up. I promise you that, because I'll tell you why. It's because, after you see the movie, tell me if you felt it that way or not. There is a main character, Frodo Baggins, in that movie. And that is a perfect 10 of Staves example, because that ring in that movie, The Lord of the Rings, that's an unbearable, burden to carry, physically, spiritually, everything. So Frodo can barely walk. Only thing he can see is just a little bit path in front of his feet. That's all. But then, how he gets to the destination is something that you need to watch. And I'm 100% positive that that movie will inspire you in so many ways. I get truly inspired when I watch movies. I promise you that. And some movies are really worth watching because they really perk us up. They light us up. They tell us a story that inspires us. Some of you guys might be listening to, a song by Kansas. And if you can guess which one, I would say this one aligns. The name is Carry On, My Wayward Son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. I'm bad at singing, or else I would have sung the song, and it'd be brutal to your ears, so I'm not gonna sing. But I love that song so much, and it totally resonates with this energy 100,000%. So, whatever you are doing right now that's weighing you down, whether it's you're working 2 jobs to pay the bills, or whether you're attending college, and you feel like you will never graduate, but I promise you, you will make it to the graduation. And when you graduate, you will know that all this burden of classes and things like that, maybe you did it along with the job, it was totally worth it. It's worth it. If you are studying something, upskilling, this burden is totally worth it. I promise you that. Some of you might be tired, exhausted, studying your own, move. Maybe you are moving somewhere and you're packing and you're loading, because I got the wedge of trucks and cars getting loaded with so much stuff that you can barely see through the rear view mirror. So some of you might actually be packing and moving to a different place, and packing and unpacking in a new place in itself is a huge burden. It's a great burden to carry, but it is a burden. It feels like a 10 of words, 110%, 100,000%. Now, some of you might be actually buying homes. And of course, buying homes has its own challenges. It's not easy. You have to pay the installments. You have to organize your finances. You have to sign so much papers. You have to move, of course, which in itself is a 10 of wands, in my opinion. So you could be doing anything, but I feel that it has become, you're at the tail end of it. Yeah, the final stretch. Then I do feel that things have become a little too overwhelming for you. The thing is, if we feel chaotic on the inside, Pisces, it will reflect in your external environment as well. So be mindful of that. Like if you're not feeling up to it, if you're really burdened, you're going to put everything else on hold, whether it's your kids' activities or whether it's your family activity, something, you're going to put everything on hold. And that might disturb a little bit, disturb your schedule, disturb the balance a little bit. So be mindful, like, the thing about 10 of Wands is that, yes, you're at the tail end of it. That if you stretch it a little bit more, like maybe you want to complete something yesterday and because you run out of patience, you run out of energy, you cannot do it a single day more. For some of you, I do feel like cutting of energy. You're like, I want this thing finished yesterday. But if you just be patient and, give it a day or two, which doesn't really change anything much, you'll feel much at ease. So, because I do sense a lot of burnout, I do feel a lot of exhaustion coming from you. Then you will look exhausted too. If you are exhausted, you will look exhausted wherever you go. So, be mindful of that as well, because you might have some people ask you like, hey, Pisces, you look exhausted. What's going on? So be careful of that as well, especially if you have to attend some big project or meetings, or you have to present things here and there. So just be mindful of that as well. And the last card for today, Pisces, you have it says guidelines. That's amazing. The path forward, right? That's what I could figure. Let's read what it says. Further, it says, in times of uncertainty, I ask God to guide me to the light. I follow the guidance to find the door to the light. I release my destiny to God, and my faith is rewarded. Oh, this is so beautiful, And let me read further. It says, the guideline energy is a beam of pure supportive light. The universe is not leaving you to drift in your beautiful, vast ocean of feelings. It is sending you a lighthouse beam, a star to steer by, a clear voice saying, this way, Justin. Pisces, you're highly intuitive. You are the mutable water sign. You probably get all those visions, those downloads, especially when you're meditating, Sometimes it happens to me. I just see a symbol and I really wonder what that symbol is all about. So you're probably getting some downloads from the universe or from people around you. You might be getting some opinions. Maybe you'll meet the right person at the right place at the right time, and that person will just say something which will give you the answer to your question that you've been debating for a long time. But this is like the universe that is guiding you forward, that's making your way clear to you so that you're not sweating it out. So your path forward is very much cleared up. It's available to you. Let me read further what it says. It says, your job is not to question the light, but to have the courage to walk toward it. Take that first step with the confidence of someone who has just been given a map in a place they thought was uncharted. Your path is clear. Your freedom is ahead. Walk on. That's a beautiful message. So you are lost in some area. Now you've been shown the torchlight. So now you know the way forward. And that's exactly the image, the feeling that I get from the image. Right? It's the person that is standing at the open gates is able to see the path forward. If the gates were closed, how dark would that be? Would you even know where you're going? whether towards the door or away from it, do. But now the gates are opened for you. And this is amazing, you know. Just be confident that the path that you're walking on is the one for you. Don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt the universe. Now, for others of you that are not so highly intuitive or that do not trust your intuition as much, I feel that you will be given guidance by people around you. The guideline can be given by any person. Maybe it's your mentor that's giving you some guidelines. Step by step to do something. Maybe you're watching a YouTube video or a social media video to see, you know, step by step of doing something. You know, maybe a problem that you've been struggling with. This could be anything. This could be an actual guideline, like maybe you're lost, you know, place, and your GPS is now giving you guidelines. You thought something was there and things changed, and your GPS is now giving you guidelines for that. So this could be anything, you know. Guidelines is like, so it could be if you're a student, your teacher giving you guidelines. If you're an athlete, your coach giving you guidelines. Or if you're a fashionista, maybe your dresser is giving you guidelines for the dresses that you wear. It could be anything. You know, I mean, it's just that you need to trust it. You need to know that the guideline that you have been given is leading you to something positive, and it's an alignment with what universe has for you. Some of you might actually be clear on, you know, the next path, in the sense that maybe you're confused what's on to what note or what tune to put to lyrics, you know. Now you have 2-3 tunes lined up, and that's how musicians work, right? They have a few notes and a few tunes lined up, and then they wonder like which one is going to be the better of the three, right? So because each of the three are so good, so which of the three are you going to create? So with the same lyrics, right? So that's a dilemma. That's huge. I've seen that happen to musicians all the time. So you might be a musician, that's trying to decide. But other than that, you might be struggling with a job. Maybe you have some offers and you're like wondering which way to go. Or maybe you just dropped your job for starting a passion project. You know, you wanted to move away from corporate. Now you want to open your own business or your own work at home or something like that. And you're curious now, which way do I go? So those directions are now going to be made available to you. Now, if this is about corporate, it could be about your finances, that the banks are giving you directives and guidelines, like do it like this, do it like this. You know, we get guidelines from the banks and federal banks, regional banks all the time, you know, where to invest, what rules are changing and things like that. Even airport has guidelines. Do this, that, and the third, and, you know, the TSAs and all of that, they have those guidelines. Like, you don't switch carry this, that, and the third in your luggage and put this here, put this there. You might be getting some kind of guidelines as well, like maybe a job traveling. So, you know, it's very interesting. When I was studying mythology, it's a very important thing that I learned. And I just remembered that because it aligns with this energy. You know, there is a concept called as ley lines, Leylids. And in the olden times, when we did not have the GPS, people actually relied on these ley lines, because these ley lines were supposed or assumed to be these invisible lines that crisscross the earth. And some of those sacred sites that were created like 1,000 years ago were actually built based on these energetic lines, these guidelines. So, you know, and till today I'm amazed how those ancient sacred sites were created. So ley lines might be one piece to the puzzle of how those ancient sites were created. So trust your intuition and also listen to what other people have to say about things. Further down here says, the confusion is lifting. You are not lost. You are being guided. Pay attention to the synchronicities, the sudden ideas, and the people who show up with just the right advice. Your path is being lit one step at a time. Some great energy out here, Pisces. There is more clarity. There is right next steps, which will be available to you, especially if you're feeling in a dilemma or at crossroads of some kind. And the one thing to know is that this is being sent to you, guided to you by the universe, or even if it's coming from your own inner voice or inner wisdom, just know that it's the divine that's playing these energies out to you, bringing them to you, to your attention, to your brain. These messages are being delivered to your subconscious. Wherever you're getting these messages from, just know that this is the divine guidance which is coming to you to give the clarity, to give the direction forward. So these are the clear signs. Pay attention to these messages, to the signposts, to the writing on the wall, to, be present so that whatever the answers you're looking for, those messages will be in your face. It will be very clear to you. Okay? It's a great energy here, Pisces. Those were their messages, and hope you enjoyed them. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.